This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes, and on your next trip to Walt Disney World, any way you want it, the All-Star Vacation Homes have the option for you. I mean, if you want a small little house for maybe just you and a loved one and someone else coming by, that's fine. If you want a huge house that can support the entire unofficial guide research staff, they've got that too. And maybe something in between. I mean, I'm just saying. But the folks at All-Star Vacation Homes have a wide variety of lots of different vacation homes, so why not choose them? Try them out at www.allstarvacationhomes.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, July 24th, 2009, and this is episode 595 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse Roverdia. Mike,
yes.
Next month you've got an Adventures by Disney trip to Wyoming next month. So my question for you is,
yes.
Have you packed your leather chaps yet?
No comment.
No comment.
Get along, little Luggy.
Also joining us on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome on.
A wop, babaloo bop, a bump, bam, boom. Matt.
Little Len Testa is joining us today.
Tutti frutti. What does he say after that? What are the words after that?
Oh, Rudy.
Rudy.
Oh, Rudy.
Who's Rudy?
Oh, there's so much behind that.
Oh,
Who could it be?
I don't know. Is it? But one more question then. Is that the inspiration for the Rudy Tutti Fresh and Fruity dish at was it IHOP?
You have cracked it yet again, Len.
Is it really?
He's sharp, isn't he?
I think it is. Go ahead. Need to open a window over here.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for alleears.net. Welcome back, Mike.
Debbie was so sick the union sent me.
Muppets.
Max.
That would be Max, yeah.
I'm Max.
And also joining us on today's show is Annette Owens of MEI, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome, Annette.
Hey guys, hey, it's nice to have a full house tonight.
That's right, everybody's back in the house. And don't forget that this Friday is our live, or Sunday rather, this Sunday
This
is our
Friday is 2 days before our live show on Sunday.
That's right.
It's the pre-show.
That's right. This Sunday, July 26th, 2009 at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time is our next live show. So www.today.com for all the details. Hopefully we'll see you this Sunday, July 26th. And on today's show, we're going to talk with, actually, Scopa's back from a trip to Walt Disney World. That's why he was gone for so long. And Mike tried out some new things and had some things to report to us. So we thought we would hear what Mike had to try, his thoughts on some things at Walt Disney World, and, kind of have a discussion about some of the experiences that he had. So, Mike, please take it away.
Well, let's see. I'll just ramble off, and you guys can ask questions as we go along. I tried the first time I tried Jico.
Ooh, how'd you like it?
It was nice. I went there for my birthday, and I thought it was very nice. I even imbibed a little bit, and I'm not that much of a drinker, except for frozen margaritas, as you guys know.
Except for, alcohol.
But it was very nice, very quiet. One of the things I noticed on this trip was that there was a paucity of guests at many of the restaurants, and I was trying to figure that out.
Wait. Mike. Say. There were so few guests. Say something like there were really few guests at.
There weren't that many tables filled at lunch and dinner.
How many were they?
Not
were
many.
there.
Not many. And it was really amazing. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
First off, I need to report, Matt, that for this trip I wanted to try a few things differently, and one of the things I tried was the online ADRs, and they all worked. I know that there had been some reports that some of them didn't work, but they worked, and they worked well. Approximately a week, maybe a week and a half before going, I made reservations to Boma, Crystal Palace, Jico, La Cellier, Bear Garden, and a few other places, and they all
That's
worked.
amazing.
Yeah.
They all worked.
I mean, I'm going in 2 weeks, and same thing. I mean, I could get into almost anything I wanted, even Le Cellier.
See, I think what's really cool about the online ADR system is that it's going to allow you to, I mean, it's cool to make reservations in advance, but there's not that much of an advantage over the phone system. What I really think is going to be cool about it is if you're in the park and, with everyone having their phones that are so, adept to connecting to the internet, I think being able to just, wait in line, and rather than have to call someone, you can't hear anything anyway, just hopping on your iPhone or whatever device you have,
Hovering
And-
on your wireless.
and being able to make an ADR like that, I think that's what makes it kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to trying that out sometime. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, it was really nice to. I mean, at first I was surprised we were able to make them, and then the other surprise was that now we're talking mid-July, and we're talking. Actually, I was there starting on the 7th of July, so it was a very busy week. Or as Len would say, it was one of those 7s, 8s, or whatever that high number is for your touring plans. But
It's
It
a
was- it was
BII to you.
It was
Yeah.
an 8 or 9, yeah.
it was really, really something because I mean, I wanted to call you, Len. I want to say what's going on. Friday night, the second, you can figure the first to second Friday night in July, and I'm eating at Boma at 5:00.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Nobody there.
That's
Maybe
amazing.
20 to 25%. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll give it an hour. I gave it an hour and maybe 40%, maybe. It was just amazing. Boma on a Friday. When you go down to the stairs when you check in, there was nobody there. It was just really eerie
Wow.
because it was July, and I've been there at least 10 or 12 times in July. It's just was amazing. Another thing I noticed at Crystal Palace, that place used to just be filled all the time. The porch would be lined with people, not for lunch. Not for lunch or breakfast. It just seemed really, really strange. And I was wondering if the price had a lot to do with it.
What does lunch go for there now at Crystal Palace? Do you remember?
I want to say in the low to mid 20s, but I'm not sure. You may want to check that out, Matt. It was just really, really surprising to see that. I tried. Let's see, got a haircut at the Magic Kingdom for my birthday.
Cool.
And I did that before. It's really fun to go in there. One of the tips that I tell people is, you want to take your children there to get a haircut. You need to do that in the morning, especially if you're an extra magic hour morning. It's good
yeah, you totally have
to
to,
go
yeah.
in there. But you got to do it between 9 and 9:30 because that's the time when everybody's going for the attractions and
Exactly.
no one's thinking about getting
A
a
haircut.
haircut. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's really fun.
Okay, stop for just a second. Stop. So where's the picture of the haircut? Because my hairdo on my birthday had to go up on the web all over the place. Where's yours?
No one wants to see Scopa. Everyone wants to see you. It's just supply and demand.
No, I'm just asking.
There may be a blog coming up with hidden Mickeys, in my hair or whatever.
Okay, just
You never know.
Okay, good.
By the way, Mike, for lunch at Crystal Palace, $20.99 for adults and $11.99 for lunch, according to All Ears Net.
Wow. So my suggestion would be to go for a late breakfast and have breakfast on your first trip up and then lunch on your second trip up. So I would do that. I noticed the Noodle Station serves Noodle Station stuff, Noodle Station cuisine only for dinner. They do not serve Noodle Station cuisine for lunch. So you get your regular fast food, whatever.
That's
your
right.
Regular.
It's open
Stuff.
for the summer, although it's only going to be open until August 8th. So if anyone's going down there, check that out. But did you have a chance to eat there, Mike?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Did not have a chance. That was one of those days where I had to be in like 4 places at once. This trip, I enjoyed a trip on the Breathless 2. And I want to thank Mike Scabetta for giving me the thrill
was
of my
that?
life.
How was that?
It was very, very,
Energetic?
yeah, I mean, it's a thrill ride. It's a knee ride. Mike is very adept. He's a very good
Host.
very good host, and he's a very adept. Thank God, he's a very adept driver on that. But we
He's driving around going,
well,
yeah, really, I don't know what I'm doing here.
And Mike, I think you should probably spell it out because I think a lot of people when they hear the boat ride, especially on a Breathless, they picture. I know that I did before I ever rode a slow boat ride, along the river, kind of like kind of almost like a
Like a sailboat.
Small world. If they make
Yeah.
a boat, you know what I mean? But it's not like that.
No, it comes from the marina at the yacht club, and it's a very, very sleek speedboat, and I believe that the top speed that you would enjoy would be around 40 knots, which I definitely enjoyed.
Wow.
40 knots, and it's really fast. And Mike Scavetta, who's just a great guy, was explaining how when the boat takes off, the front of the boat lifts up a little bit, and then you're almost flying in the air, and then it just settles down. And he said, "I'll show you," and he showed us.
Nice.
And that's the way it worked. And And it was really, it's an amazing boat. And I think that if anybody has a chance, I know that some of these experiences can be expensive, but if you go with several people, I think it's really worth it. Just like the Illuminations cruise. It's really interesting to see Illuminations from that angle. I think everybody should do it just at least once, not just once, but at least once. So that was new, doing the Breathless 2. One of the things that I did not get to do in May that I did get to do in last week was see one of those finale shows for the American Idol experience.
Oh, what did you think?
A few days earlier, I had tried to get there, and I was doing something. I think I was in Toy Story Mania, and then I ran over to the American Idol experience. It was about 20 of 7, and what was interesting was that they were letting people go into the queue and saying you may or may not get in. And they're putting people into the theater. And I don't know if they allow standing room only, but boy, it seemed like they were getting a lot of people in. But we ended being missed out by about 50 people. So we went in the following day and watched the finale. It was good. It's long. We came out, the park was closed. Yep. It was very good. Yeah. I was really I'm really amazed at the talent that I saw there.
I thought the same thing. I thought I was pleasantly surprised that the talent in the end show was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, the end show is definitely there because you got the winners throughout the day, and that's what I think really makes it. I think if you see the regular shows, it's really hit or miss because if you've got talented people, that's great. But a lot of times there's one person who's decent at it, and you have some other people that aren't so great, and so it's fairly obvious who's going to win. But at the end show, Mike, I think you saw that. Is that it kind of makes it interesting when you've got the best of the best competing from the day there. And there are some really talented singers, like you said.
Yeah, they really are. I the one thing that I have a problem with, Matt, is I'm not too crazy about the judges.
Uh-huh.
I think they could do without them. I really do.
Yeah, you can say. I mean, they really don't add much to the show because I think you're right, Mike. I said, what if you took the judges away from the show? What would would it change? How would the show change? And really, you wouldn't lose that much from it. I mean, occasionally you do get a good judge who's got a funny comment, especially if the contestant is kind of wacky or whatever. But I agree with you. I mean, they're kind of take them or leave them.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to several shows and you hear the same comments over and over again,
yeah,
and then you have, I mean, the one judge is a Randy Jackson clone, and then you've got someone on the end who's supposed to be like Simon Cowell. It's like, oh come on, be original. So that was something that I thought it could do without.
So you said crowds overall were low, you would say?
I couldn't figure it out, Matt. I mean, sometimes they were low. I mean, there were times when I wanted to take a photo and send it to you guys and say, here I am, 3:00 on a July afternoon in Epcot, and there's nobody around. I for some reason I can't figure out the studios because there are days when you can go. Well, Len, I mean, there are days when you can go at 2:00, 3:00 in the afternoon, and you can walk right on Tower of Terror. And then there are other days. Then this past week, I had to wait like 45 minutes, and I couldn't figure it out. Did you go on a day
where there was Phantasmic?
No Phantasmic. And that was in the afternoon. So it was just kind of really interesting. There was something I saw that I wasn't aware of. There's a new dinner package for something.
Phantasmic is a dinner package, but
no, it wasn't Phantasmic. It was something else
for Finding Nemo at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I don't know how recently that started, and I don't know how good it is, but I noticed.
I think it's just temporary for the summer, right? I thought
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I have heard good things about it. The people that have done it. I forgot who was telling me about it not too recently. They had tried it out and said it was good because it allows you basically. For those who aren't aware, you eat at Tusker House, I believe, and then you get to have a guaranteed seat at an afternoon showing at Finding Nemo the musical.
The thing is, it's essentially committing you to being in the park longer than you would normally be in that park. I think it's cynical, but anyway,
it's fair. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I wanted to let you know, Matt, that I rode Dinosaur 2 times in a row.
And yet you're still alive. I'm
still alive.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
One of the things I noticed this year, I didn't notice until May, and I did it this time around. I don't know how many people are aware that you can ask to sit up front for Expedition Everest. When you get to the loading area, you can ask the cast member. You can say, "I'd like to be placed in the queue to ride up front," and there's a little queue on the right, and you can. I mean, you might wait maybe an extra 15 to 20 seconds, but at least you can get up front. So,
Yeah, and it really is the best. It's the best front seat experience in all of Walt Disney World.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what happened on
Yeah.
this trip? You know when
You
you,
wet
when
your,
you go
you
up,
wet your pants.
no,
Well, that's
no.
That happened last trip.
Wow.
At his age.
Okay, hold on.
know-
Yeah, wait, hold on. Never mind. Well, yeah, but that was on the ride over. But anyway, go ahead.
You know when you're in a thrill ride, you're anticipating this, you're anticipating that. Well, what was funny was that we went up on and we went to the area where the tracks are supposed to break, and then you go backwards. Okay, so you go backwards, and you know how you go backwards, and then you stop, and then you see that little video of the Yeti or whatever,
Right.
and then you go
The
down.
little shadow film of the Yeti, right?
Yeah. So we're going back and we see the shadow, and I'm waiting to go, and like we probably were there for about 3 minutes
Wow.
waiting to go down. And I'm thinking everybody's like getting excited, and it's like you're not getting excited, and then you're getting apprehensive. It's like, come on, let's go. So I don't know what happened, but
Was the
Right.
Yeti actually working, or was he in B mode?
I believe it
No,
was working.
I heard he was. He's working. He's in like a modified A mode. From what I understand, the new
fans and the strobe lights. Is that what it?
the new effects approximate what he was doing in A mode, but it's not the same as A mode. And if I understand correctly from Jim Hill, major structural changes have to be made for him to get back to actual A mode. He's like A minus mode.
Has anyone else noticed that Disney has a tendency lately? They got some really cool things that they come out with, but then they can't like keep them running for a long time. Like you've got
Their
Yeti,
execution ability is
Luxo Jr. at the studios. He's sometimes he's out, sometimes he's not out.
Drew the dolphin.
Yeah, the,
Yeah, the dolphin. 5 days.
yeah. Well, that was a different issue.
That was just incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean-
we're gonna spend $1 million and waste 6 months of people's time for 5 days.
But I'm just saying that they've had these effects that are like, well, they worked at one point, but I mean, it's just it's interesting that they've. I mean, Yeti, it's been months. I'm glad A minus.
Yeah, something close, right? It's better. And you know what too? I mean, probably not that many people noticed it. It could have been a total, fanboy revolt that made it happen. I give them props for at least making the effort.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's better than nothing, certainly. But I mean, it kind of. I know that when I go on Everest and I don't see the Yeti in all of its glory, it's kind of disappointing. But then again, I kind of know that. I'm sure Guess Who'd have no clue. Probably thinks the greatest thing ever.
Interesting thing happened at Rock and Roller Coaster. I was in the store when you get off the ride, and I'm looking around and I'm watching people come off, and it's kind of fun. And then all of a sudden I saw a whole bunch of cast members going over to the area where people unload from the Rock and Roller Coaster, and there was a guest stuck in the ride. His seatbelt had frozen. He couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And so they had to do something to loosen up. I'm thinking, if it can happen like that, could it happen the other way? I was just curious and they didn't want anybody to see what was going on, so they blocked it. So that was kind of weird.
How about you said you tried out T-Rex?
T-Rex again? I don't know. Give it a shot.
Oh no! See, I
No.
I tried it out last weekend. It's probably as bad, if not worse, than I thought it was going to be. It's so loud. I mean, I was not prepared for how loud it was going to. I knew it was going to be loud, but wow, was that loud? Overpriced,
Yeah.
slow service. Food was not. I had the mahi mahi. It tasted like it was a glorified fish stick, is what it was.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
breaded like a fish stick.
I do want to say that on the other side, I was pleasantly surprised. Well, I had eaten at the fountain at the Dolphin one time. Len had said to me, "Hey, next time you're gonna check it
I
out."
like the fountain. Dawn really liked the fountain.
Yeah, well, they're my favorite because they gave me a free banana split for my birthday. But,
Oh, damn.
but beyond that, I mean, I thought that their entrees were very good. They're very reasonably priced. They're very tasty. The portions may be too big. I mean, they're just huge. But I think that's a very good place to go off the beaten path and try it out. Ate Flying Fish. Last 2 trips I've eaten at Flying Fish both times, so that's becoming a rather favorite restaurant of mine.
We got time for one last question for you, Mike, and I've got the question for you. It was it was a birthday trip. So obviously you had to have done something for your birthday. So what did you choose, and how did it work out? If you chose the gift card, what did you get?
Well, one of the things I found out, I thought I had to go inside the Magic Kingdom. You actually, I got my gift card at the guest relations window outside the turnstiles, but I had to go in and then I had to come out. and I got the $75 gift certificate because I just felt that was I could get something for that. And here's the ironic thing: I happened to be at Downtown Disney the night before I was going to do some shopping, and I had my Disney watch with me, and it was one of those Disney watches where you can change the bands, and the face, the bevel or whatever, it always gets loose. Well, I was talking to someone, and I flicked my arm up, and I said, "Now over here," and my watch went flying into the river or whatever. And I said, "Well, I mean, I said, well," and I was upset, but I said, "Well, now I know what I'm going to use my $75 gift certificate for." So the next day, I bought a new Mickey watch. So.
Very nice.
That's what I use it for.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Well, thank you for the report, Mike. And don't forget that this episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes. And on your trip to Walt Disney World, birthday or not, the All-Star Vacation Home can be a great option for you and your family to have lots of space, lots of great amenities, and for a fraction of the price if you try to get that same room on Disney World property. So why not give them a try? Visit them online at www.allstarvacationhomes.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Lancaster, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hotchberg. We'll see you on the next show, live show on Sunday.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.